and tonight, Bud Bye, Advocacy Director for the Richmond Area Bicycling Association. I see a few members here. And for the statewide Virginia Bicycle Federation, which our local club has about 1,100 members, and the statewide federation represents about 20,000 from clubs all around the state. We kind of feel proud of ourselves, John, that we do a little bit of not generating CO2 as we do our recreation on the bicycle, and a number of our members use it for transportation, going to work and going to the store and doing other utilitarian things. But that's not the topic here. The topic here is a clean power plant. I think we could generate a number, if somebody comes up with a specific proposal, I think we can generate a number of votes supporting that. I don't know exactly what it is, but generally all of our constituents in the bicycling community are in favor of reducing the CO2, and we will support a specific plan when it comes out, and we appreciate the efforts here and all kinds of suggestions that have come out. I don't have any specific suggestions to add to that. So we're generally in support of it, and when we see something specific, I'll be happy to try and generate some votes in support of that. Somebody else can use the reference.
Okay, Ron Skinner.
Skinner, you got it. Good for this.
Sorry.
Yes. Thank you. My name is Ron Skinner. I live in Richmond. Longtime environmentalist. Was it the first Earth Day? Remember that? Whoever thought it would take this long for us to actually decide, wow, there's an Earth Day and we care about it, and we're going to do something. Well, we're at that same crossroads now. And as Yogi Berra said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. So we're long overdue to take this fork in the road. I made a couple notes here. If you don't mind me glancing down occasionally. We're about halfway through the hearings the DEQ is going to have on this subject at this point in time. I think it's really important that we carry the really important ideas with them. And the important ideas aren't these details. The details add up to things, but we got a lot of trees, but we got to get the forest. The basic thing is that the forest we've been using, if I can use that sort of marginal analogy, has been working fine for the last 150 years. Let's say last maybe 60, 80 years. Huge amounts of liquid energy and very efficient. Gosh, you can't beat it, I mean, it's just hugely, beats horses all to pieces. But, as coal was incredible in its day, and oil incredible in its day, we've kind of like eclipsed. Not necessarily because there's something that's better, but because we realize there's a pushback from the environment. And as the gentleman pointed out the other moment ago, global warming and global cooling have been going on for millions of years. I didn't mention the fact that the reason that carbon goes up and down, and the reason the temperatures go up and down in lockstep, is because something happens with a big volcano, or in our case, a big collection of people who don't get that the environment's pushing back when they put in more carbon, and they acidify the ocean, and they lose the ability to calcify in the ocean. I mean, it just makes a huge difference on our lives. Sure, the planet will go on, as George Carlin said, the planet will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. I don't particularly want to be one of those bad fleas. And we don't need to be. We can have a lot more vision. Unfortunately, the way the business cycle works is people are worried about the checks they're going to get this month, this year, and about the votes they're going to take this month, this year. And then I'm looking down the road. Now, if their kids were sitting next to them when they take these votes and saying, Daddy, is this good for me too? They'd make a different decision. And I think it's time to step out of the old forest of ideas and say, hey, if we're going to make decisions, not just for our benefit, or so our checks keep coming in, but so we can keep winning elections, if we want to make decisions that are going to get us down the road a fur peace, and I know we have been losing that and getting more and more short-term, we've got to give up this short-term, quick and dirty fix, because the kids are not going to have anything left if we keep doing what we're doing. Y'all know what I mean? Who's got kids? You got kids? There's a lot of people with kids out there, and you think about the kids. When you go to work, you're still thinking about the kids. When you go home, you're thinking about the kids. When you make a decision, you're thinking about the kids. We got to get our politicians and Dominion and DEQ to say, what about the kids? It's not about our convenience. Who did the governor promise this to? Where do we get our checks from? Are we going to be in town next year? We got to think about the kids. We got to get our heads out of our proverbial butts and look around us and see the decisions we make a big difference. So let's make a big difference. If we look, I don't know if you were at the synagogue hearings a couple of years ago, where it was really obvious there were 90 people there. All of them except maybe 3 hated the idea of putting this marginal product, that's the solids from waste plants, on the ground, because there were so many waivers on what kind of minerals it could have and how much. I mean, it was crazy. You could tell it was virtually a fix. The public said, no. The DEQ said, we'll try it. There's a big disconnect between the DEQ and the public. We can't let that happen. My suggestion is that the governor really needs to know, if he goes on a limb and says, hey, let's do something that my check writers don't like, you'll have to cover my family. We have to cover his family by writing in lots of letters, going to our little groups, letters to the editor, and let him know, hey, we're in front of you. We're going to cover for you because we want some change. We know you're vulnerable politically. If you do something slightly radical or slightly looking down the road, we'll cover you because we want this change. Because we're not all looking at the next check. We're not looking at opportunity like the politicians do, which is the sad thing that we got them in those little boxes. Am I running out of time? How many minutes?
3 minutes are up.
Oh, my minutes are up. I'm sorry. Anyway, so let's find a new forest, huh? Let's repopulate our trees in a new forest. Thank you.
Folks, that's everyone who has signed up thus far tonight. If anyone is here who has not spoken who would like to speak now, let us know.
Max texted me, and at midnight in our house, he goes and he checks the gadgets, thermostats, and goes outside and takes a picture of the whirligig that does the energy outside. And he has documented from 20% to the low end to 50% of energy reduction use in the houses that he has fixed up. And that's a huge amount. I was thinking maybe 10-15%, but those investments in conservation so easily pay for themselves in such a quick time. I did a job with him. A woman, it was her rental property, and she invested that money into her house for her renters to cost, so they didn't have to pay the energy, and she wasn't using the energy. And that was my add-on. Thank you.